Hi, I'm Brendan Bury from Pebble Design. This is not really my style, but I hope you don't mind if I just brag a little bit for a bit. Who is Pebble Design? Well, what we've achieved today is we are voted in the top 10 best hotel web designers in the world. We have achieved a #1 Google ranking for hotel website design. We've worked for clients all over the world. We've done over 400 websites, and we've worked for so many of the major national chains of hotels throughout the world. Accor Hotels, Starwood, Rendezvous, Ridges, Ramada. We've done so many different hotel sites over the years. It's even staggering for me to acknowledge how much work we have done. I'm very much one of those people, put your head down, put your bum up and get on with the work. So for me to actually work out what we have done and acknowledge it is as I said, not my style. However, what it's led us to is really discovering our passion. We're really passionate about working with smaller boutique, passionate hotel property owners, and the opportunity that it gives us to work with them directly and really create beautiful websites online that showcase their passion, their gorgeous, beautiful properties, and the experiences that their clientele can come and experience. I wasn't always a successful business owner. I've very much come through the school of hard knocks. I actually grew up in South Africa, Johannesburg, South Africa, and for a young South African boy, my parents, we had wonderful lives, we were very loved, and we weren't the wealthiest of families, and to be honest, I'd never ever experienced what a hotel even was. The limits of what I had experienced of a hotel, I remember on a trip traveling from Johannesburg down to Cape Town. It's a very long trip to do, and you go through the middle of South Africa, which is very hot. It's the Karoo. It's a very hot area, and I remember having to spend a night on the floor in a motel. So that was my first hotel experience, and only hotel experience in South Africa, where we got to, as a kid, sleep on the floor in this motel, and it was stinking hot. I don't even think there was air conditioning. I can't remember, and I thought that was pretty special. I thought that was great. So it was not until I actually left South Africa, and I left when I was 18. I came over to Australia, and I ended up, funnily enough, working as a banquets waiter, and ended up working in the Regent Hotel, the Hilton Hotel, Intercontinental Hotel in Sydney, and many other restaurants, organisations. Did very glamorous parties, did a lot of A-list parties, parliamentary parties, functions. So that really opened my eyes. But again, it opened my eyes because my experience of even a hotel then was the back corridors. I can remember distinctly the back corridors of the Hilton Hotel. Very dark and dingy, full of tables and chairs piled up everywhere. I remember I forget the person who was like in charge of banquets. He used to slam the trays that you used to have to take those big trays of like 12 plates of food out on, and heavy as. And I remember him slamming these boards on the table, going, hurry up, and it was just like so. And yet you'd walk through those doors into a beautiful banquet, and you'd see all the glamour, and there'd be musicians on stage, and everybody's beautifully dressed and drinking champagne, and these gorgeous food and atmosphere and lighting, and so that was my experience of hotels, even as a young person in my 20s. I never got to even experience what the rooms were like. But I was lucky enough to eat in the canteen, and I used to love that. I used to love the fact that I could eat in the staff canteen at the Regent Hotel, because apparently the food we were eating was the same food that they perhaps ate the day before in one of their functions. And I thought, wow, this is really fancy food. So for me, it does, that was my introduction to hotels in Australia, and it was through my studies that I studied computer engineering. I then went on to study design at Design College, and I studied as a sound engineer, and I really just started opening my mind to what else is there in life. So I was very lucky that a lot of the experiences that I've had, and there was a natural passion for hotels right from the beginning. And sorry, it was not until that I ended up working as a graphic designer in an advertising agency in Sydney, and I was doing really well in that company because I'd found something I was really passionate about. And I remember my boss at the time, I told him I was going on a photography holiday. I took myself for 4 weeks to Bali, and a bag of camera gear and film. It was still film in those days. And he said, look, as a treat, I'd like to buy you 2 nights in a hotel in Bali. And I just thought, wow, this is great, because I'd been backpacking. My whole holiday was a backpacking trip in cheap hotels. So I'd been reading Continental Traveller, and it was showcasing the top 10 hotels in the world. And in that, at the time, was Amandari in Ubud, which is one of the Amman hotels. So I ended up spending 2 nights there, and to be honest, I was in raptures. I had this entire pavilion. It was massive. It was bigger than any flat that I'd ever lived in, and it was all for me. I had my own pagoda outside, and fish pond, and the view over the rice paddies, and there were fruits of baskets of fruit everywhere that got replenished every day. And I remember running a bath. I think it took 3 hours to run the bath. It was so big. And I actually can honestly say I did not sleep for 2 days. I was so excited. It was such a life-changing experience. And for me at the time, I realized what I was supposed to do. I realized that there was an incredible part of life staying in a hotel that I was not even aware of. And I think around that time, I made a commitment to myself to show the world the beauty that hotels offer. And that's where my quest began for moving down the path. What do I need to learn? Who do I need to be? What can I do? What's my role? What's my part? How can I share the beauty that the hotel experience offers? It's from that place that I have spent all the years developing and building up Pebble Design with a clear passion for what we do. I'm deeply passionate about hotels. I love traveling. I love staying in hotels. I love the experience of hotels. I love photographing hotels. I love taking video in hotels, because for me, it's all an opportunity to share what's really there, to share the beauty, to find the detail, to share that through the art form, the creative form that we've created our company. Our company, and we weren't always a web design agency, it's only now, I mean, technology is very much a digital technology. At the end of the day, we're still communicating a story. We're still telling a story. It just happens to be very digital now. In the beginning, I remember my very first job for Accor Hotels was designing a postcard. So, and then it was 2, and then it was 3, and then it was a brochure, and then it ended up a website. So that journey's progressed, and it's gone from a print experience, and we still do print, to a digital experience. And I love digital because digital is such an immersive, it appeals to all the senses. It's a very powerful medium. Again, some of my background training in psychology and accelerated learning helps you to understand what motivates people, what engages people. And it's when you combine the energy of the way things are working, that's when you can really impact on somebody and create an impression. And I believe the experience for consumers going 10 years, 20 years in the future, there's going to be a very high expectancy. I'd say there's even a high expectancy now that people go further and do more in terms of immersing people into their product, in sharing their experience. I really believe the more willing you are to share what you have, the more willing you are to share the passion that you have for your business, and the more committed you will be to putting your business out there, doing what it takes, spending the money, doing what it takes to get your product, to get yourself, to get your passion and your business out there to the world. And you'll want to do it in the best way possible. So our vision for what I see with Pebble Design is to build ourselves up where we are really connecting both our clients and our clients' customers with the product on an emotional and an energetic level, where people's faith and hope in the beauty that exists in the world will inspire them to live big lives, to live life to its fullest. And I believe having holidays and traveling is part of our makeup of what makes our lives beautiful. It's where we get to experience time with loved ones. It's where we get to experience and reflect and spend time with ourselves. It's where we get to experience different cultures in the world when we travel. It's where we get to celebrate those moments in life that stay with us forever. For me, the whole experience of hotels and delivering that as a digital story through what we do is very humbling, and I'm honored to be able to be on that journey, and I am so grateful that I get to work with so many amazing, talented people in our team. We are attracting more and more people all the time, and I am so grateful to work with the many amazing clients who are all successful and amazing people in their own right. And I look forward to doing this work on, and because another key element is we're always learning. There's so much growth and learning and love to be gotten out of what we do. I will never stop doing this. So hopefully our paths will meet and we will get to do your work.